All right, there we go. Hello, Kenya Sloan.
Hello, Mike Hatcher.
How's it going?
I'm
Welcome,
doing great.
everybody,
Welcome, everybody.
to the Power Hour Podcast, edition 28 here on April 30th. So, yes. Should be 29th, though, and I totally dropped the ball, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for last week. I was in Vegas for the trials, and we just couldn't. I had a grand idea where I was going to try to get maybe some real live podcast guests and stuff like that at the
Yeah.
trials, and that didn't work out because it's a little difficult. I mean, they got things going on, I guess. They're coaching.
Yeah. They got some.
Try to make world teams or something. I don't know. They don't want to be on our podcast. So either way, but welcome everyone. Like I said, 28th edition of the Tennessee Power Hour Podcast. I am your host, State Chairman Mike Hatcher. This is my co-host, Kenya Sloan, Miss Everything Awesome, national champion, now soon to be world famous girls club coach in Knoxville, Tennessee, everything like that. Kenya, I haven't talked to you in 2 weeks now. What's it doing?
I know.
How's the club?
It is better than I ever could have imagined. Man,
So-
we're having so much freaking fun. I mean, I am. I think the girls are.
I bet. How many you got? More? Adding?
We're adding. It's hard with everyone still being in school a little bit, and we've got people traveling from like a bit far. So we honestly still never have more than like 15 in attendance at a single practice, but we've got a total of 20 members who come when they can. So
That's awesome. That's up from the last time. Last time it was like,
It is up.
It's like 15, 16, 17.
Yeah, it was like 15 or 16.
Yes, love it. That's awesome. Are you guys going to be at the state tournament this weekend? Or you
We
got
are going to be at the state tournament this weekend, of course.
All right.
Yeah, bringing home some hardware at the state tournament this weekend.
That's what's up. So what else is going on in your world? Anything cool?
Anything cool?
Work, right?
Yeah, work. This is so crazy. It may be too personal, but like today was my last day at my job.
What?
Yeah, I planned it for a little bit because, physical therapy school is a thing that's coming. And I really want to be able to invest myself in the club and just continue to like build it. It's kind of hard when you work 40 hours a week to like give a lot to it in the afternoon. So I have a few weeks where I'm just like not going to be working and just going to be paying attention to the club thing. So today was my last day and it's fun. It was fun.
Wow.
I love my job. I'll miss it. I'll still have some like private clients that I like stretch and see on the side, but now like my day is a lot more open to just like work on things and plan. So I'm trying to get some camps scheduled for this summer. So shout out to anyone who wants a girls camp.
You know what? I might want one here, Middle Tennessee.
It sounds like I should come.
I think so. I think we need to get that done.
It sounds good.
Now that you got some time on your hands.
Yeah.
Well, Mackenzie Fowler was telling me that we are going to be you're going to be taking part in our national teams, and I was like, how is she going to be doing that? She's like one of the busiest people on the planet right now. She's got.
I made some changes. I got tired of saying no to like a lot of fun stuff.
Like, that's okay. We're good. Okay,
Yeah.
we're good. All right. Okay. I'm not going to ask more questions. We're good.
Yeah. I just quit my job so I could full time.
Not like I'm going to try to talk you out of that. Help us out. Well, that's awesome. Good.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Glad the club's going well and keep cranking. It's good. Love it.
Yeah. How are things going over? Well, you've not been in Nashville for the past week,
I
but
have not. I was in Las Vegas for there's so much wrestling out there. U15, U17, U20, boys trials, girls high school showcase, and a ton of wrestling.
yeah. Do they do this at the same venue that they've done the U.S. Open?
They do. South Point Casino Arena. It's a pretty cool arena. It's not bad. It's pretty cool. Have you been in that one? Did you wrestle in it?
Yeah, I wrestled.
Yeah.
Oh, I wrestled in like the Open. I don't. How long have they been doing the showcase thing?
The high school showcase, they haven't been doing it very long, but but the Open has been wrestled there for quite a while. Obviously, it's an Olympic this year. So the U.S. Open was actually back in December. So the senior level guys weren't there wrestling, but I tell you what, it was a crazy amount of really, really good high school kids and like early college kids. The U20 matches were just insane. I mean, insane. So, and actually the 15, 17 U's was, we have some really good talent coming up. Let's just put it that way. Some really good talent coming up in our country. So, and I'll get into the guys side a little bit here and, in about 20 minutes or so after we have our female guest on. But we're starting to have a little bit better attendance, at that particular tournament from our kids in Tennessee, which is really exciting. So, so it's good.
That's awesome.
But so again, shout out to my amazing assistant coaches Consider I just I spent the last 6 days. I got in last night late at my flight. I flew in 10. I got in like 9:30, 10 o'clock last night. So hit the ground running today after 6 days in Las Vegas, which is a long time.
That is a long time.
Vegas. It is.
That's a long time.
I love Las Vegas. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love it. I have some of my best friends are out there. But it's just, it's a lot, it's the time change, it's just everything, not that it's significant time change, but it is, because Vegas never sleeps, obviously. So you're, I mean, it's like you're at this wrestling. I mean, I was there Thursday night, Friday night until actually, and then Saturday also. We had guys that were wrestling that night. And so, I mean, getting out of there to what, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, maybe. And then by the time you get something to eat, and if you're walking around the strip and all of a sudden it's midnight, well, it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, depends on where you're at. It's just.
You just made a big jump from 7. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, so yeah, but it was good though. I enjoy it. I love seeing like a bunch of my old friends and, people that are the wrestling thing. It's just, it's it's basically the who's wrestling's out there. So all the college coaches are out there, all the really high club coaches out there, all the, I got to face to face, finally in person meet the P&L director. Yep. So that was pretty cool. I mean, they're excited. Obviously, they're excited to have us in. I don't know if it's, just to expand their league or what deal. I know we're excited, so I don't know if they're as excited as we are, but it seems to be out. And then all the P&L coaches were all out. I think we were out for dinner on Saturday after the rest.
Part of the club.
So, yeah, so it was good. But I knew him a lot of them anyway. Like Izzy Martinez, I know him for years. Izzy style wrestling. Of course, Jody Strip Matter that's what new Young Guns shirts like these.
I like those.
Yeah.
I love it.
Anyway, but known obviously Jody for years. Oh, I've known the Pinnacle guys. I just actually formally met them last week, but known them for a little while. I mean, I've known. Zach Dominguez. Their clubs in the club. Their clubs in the P&L. So there's a lot of the guys that are in P&L that I've known for for quite a while already. So yeah, it was good. So it's awesome. Always good getting out there and supporting our Tennessee kids and networking and all that type of stuff, and making some college connections between some of our coaches and some of our parents and people that are out there with other college coaches, for future reference.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of one of the reasons I'm out there. So it's good. Whatever the reason, it's good.
Help connect people. That's what my coach does.
Yeah. I try. It is what it is. But other than that, I think we got some wrestling to cover. Finally. Yeah. Like I said, I was really hoping I'd be able to get like some really cool thing. It would have been really tough though, just with that venue set up. And I should have probably thought about it a lot bit better.
That's okay. High hopes.
Yeah, to drag somebody out in the hallway there and try to do it on my face just would have been a mess. Yeah. So I don't know what I was thinking, but hey, what are you gonna do?
Hey, we're here now. That's okay.
It. So, what results from last weekend? You got girls. I think we only had one girl, right, in the showcase.
That I've heard and known of. And so, hey, if you were there and we didn't know about you, then let us know and we'll make sure we'll shout you out next time.
Yes, sure.
But for the high school girls showcase in Vegas at the event that Hatch was at, Ella Murphy went. Ella Murphy's East Tennessee, wrestles at my old high school. So I'm very, very familiar with her. We've had her on this podcast like a lot of times because she's always kicking butt.
Yeah.
But Ella Murphy made it out to the tournament and she made it to the finals. So she took second place at 190. So congratulations, Ella. Thanks for representing us well out there. Hopefully we can send some more females. Hopefully I will take some females next year.
There you go.
Like putting my toes in the water a little bit. But yes, congratulations to Ella for her performance at the high school girls showcase. And then the other thing I want to go over was Olympic team trials, which was not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And this might be considered cheating, considering who we're having on, but Tennessee is claiming this person for right now because she's wrestling in Tennessee at King University. And so we were trying to find some ties of like athletes who are from Tennessee who are wrestling in Olympic team trials. It's hard for me as a freestyle person to not dive into Olympic team trials. So I was glued to my TV and my phone, like at work, like watching trials the whole time.
Yeah.
So we had someone represent our state, Samara Chavez, who we actually going to have on.
Let's put her on here. Why not? That way you can give her a nice introduction. Hey, Samara.
Hello. Your background looks much nicer than both of ours.
Yeah. Florida for the first time.
So. For the first time ever?
Yeah, it's kind of like a vacation, I guess, after school and everything. So.
What part are you in?
What part, Tampa?
Oh, Tampa's awesome.
Oh, my grandparents live in Tampa. You have to stop by and tell them hi for
Love
me.
Tampa.
Well, everyone, welcome Samara Chavez. Samara is from Texas. She's a Texas native, but right now she's a Tennessean because she's living in Tennessee and wrestling at King.
King College, right?
King College. No, University.
He almost got you tripped up.
We were talking about that before she came to the stage, and Kenya said, "Boy, haven't you just dated yourself again?" I'm like, "Well, first of all, it's not hard because I'm 51 years old. It doesn't take really much for me to date anything, but I didn't realize it was King University now. It used to be King College, right? Or am I just going crazy?"
It was at one point, but I know it was when I was recruited there, when I went to camps there 8 years ago, it was already King University. So it's been
shoot.
Okay.
That's all right. But it used to be King College. That's what tells you how long I've been around.
Yeah, everyone knows what you mean, though. King College, King University. But either way, whatever you want to call it, that's where Samara is, and that's why we get to claim her right now. So thanks for joining us in Tennessee. Samara wrestled Olympic team trials. You wrestled 50 kilos, right?
Yes, I did.
And I was looking at the bracket. I didn't get to see all of your matches because, like I said, I was at work while I was watching all this stuff. But you had a really great performance working your way through the bracket and ended up taking 4th place overall, right?
5th, I think top 3. Sadly, it'd be one of those matches where you'd be winning and then they just catch you.
Right. So it happens. But you still made it to Olympic team trials, which is in of itself a huge accomplishment. Obviously something that no one from our state that I know of made it that far. And so we're happy that we get to claim you for the time being, and congratulations on your performance at Olympic team trials. But Samara's from Texas. Has been had a successful career for a long time. You've made multiple national teams, cadet world teams. Did you go to cadet worlds?
Cadet Pan Am's.
Cadet Pan Am team.
2nd place, yeah. Runner up.
That's okay. I did that too. Hey, but we still got to do cool stuff. But she's been on a few senior national teams as still a very, very young athlete. And so, you've been on the scene for a long time. 3-time All-American for NCAA Nationals, and also a 4-time Fargo All-American. So she's just been kicking butt for a long, long time. And so everyone who's in the college or just female wrestling scene knows the name Samara Chavez. So thanks for moving to Tennessee so we could claim you for a little bit. We appreciate it.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Tell us a little bit about your journey in wrestling thus far. How did you get into wrestling and how did you end up at King University?
Well, it's kind of been in my family for a bit. It's I have older siblings that wrestle, so I kind of just got it through that. And then I guess I happen to be, gifted. I don't know. I worked a lot. I've been doing it for 8 years, so I'd hope I'd be pretty good at it by now.
Hey, some people have been working on it that long and I don't have anything to show for it. So you're doing something right.
Yeah. And then I'm not going to lie, I didn't really know much about King. But then whenever Jason Mormon reached out to me and everything, I started looking into it a bit. And then I know some of their athletes there that are doing big and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is a good college and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's small. I like small community colleges and stuff like that. It's very I don't know. I feel it's more, you can focus more there and not get distractions and stuff.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a great place to be in there in Tennessee, a little isolated, very new outlook, new difference. I'm from Texas. Everything's kind of
big.
Yeah. So they're small. And I was like, oh, I kind of like this.
Yeah.
And then I've been improving every year there at King, so I like it and everything.
Yeah. Have you gone to explore any other areas of Tennessee? I'm not trying to hate on Bristol at all, but I don't know if it's the best representation of our state as a whole. Have you got to visit other cities?
Johnson City a bit.
Yeah.
Knoxville.
Where?
Knoxville, Tennessee.
That's where I live.
I drove there and went a little sightseeing there, and then Nashville a bit.
That's where he lives.
Oh yeah.
There, you betcha.
Both.
Yeah, you could have come to see both of us.
Yeah.
Now that we're friends, if you ever come to Knoxville or Nash, you don't get to leave without saying hi.
I got you next time.
Well, how does it? I was curious because I know how girls wrestling specifically in Texas is a big thing. You guys have been ahead of the game for a long time. And so I was wondering, even though you're kind of in the college scene, so I know it's different, but you're living in Tennessee, What are the differences culturally between girls wrestling in Texas and girls wrestling in Tennessee that you've seen so far?
Is Tennessee sanctioned?
Yes. Yes.
I didn't know
It's
that.
just a lot smaller than Texas.
Yeah.
We have quite that.
Five.
Yeah, we have got quite that massive of a state, that population.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Texas is we have a 5A and 6A. And then I would say it is pretty like where I'm from, there's a lot of opportunities to go and find practice and stuff. It's always there. In Tennessee, I haven't really explored much. I want to go down and actually like find like a practice area, because I heard a lot of people at King volunteer and help with the wrestling in Bristol. I don't know what area that is, but that and check it out a bit.
Well, they got this really cool new club in Knoxville for girls. So if you ever make it out to Knoxville again, then you have to connect with the coach over there.
Yeah, for sure.
I was just about ready to say that. I was like, you know what? I think there's an opportunity like right down the road from you. I mean,
No.
Go look and help out, go scrapple in there, but I like getting in there and filling out.
Absolutely, yeah. And then you can get a little more plugged in, and then maybe you'll give us an idea of like how are girl wrestlers in Tennessee different than girl wrestlers in Texas?
Yeah.
Right. So I've got
what are you getting back to your Nashville thing? Let's not let Kenya steal all the time.
Hey.
What now? You're in Nashville for what reason again? I'm trying to get a little camp going here with these two.
I mean, yeah, I can. Next summer, I can for sure.
There we go.
I graduated, so I'll have my car hopefully next year there. Now, yeah, I'm down.
There we go. I'm gonna have to get you and Kenya in here for girls camp. I think it'd be awesome. We need all the help we can get in Middle Tennessee. You know, we don't got all girls clubs like Kenya and all that stuff going on here. Trying.
Yeah, we'll go on a tour all over girls camp. Well, I was gonna say I have some teammates that wrestled. Well, old teammates, I'm not in college anymore, that wrestled in Texas. And it's been like so crazy to have a few of us from Tennessee who like, I mean, we're kind of got it going on, like girls wrestling in Tennessee. But then you go meet the girls who are like wrestled in Texas. And first of all, everyone knows everyone. It's such a big freaking state. But it's like if you wrestled in Texas, like all the other Texas girls like know each other and they're like best friends. And some of us from Tennessee who like made it on the team, we were like, oh my God, you're from Tennessee? Like what? Just because like I think I don't really know how to explain it, but it's just such a big like cultural thing there, Hatch. Like I don't know how much if you've like seen on social media, but obviously you guys' state tournament is huge. But it's like Texas for girls has had like national teams for a long time, always traveling, and so everyone always knows each other like from those. But I mean, every single teammate that I have that wrestled in college, that wrestled in Texas, like is probably friends with Samara, and they're like almost different like generations. So
I help out a bit with the national team. I'm one of the coaching staffs I'm doing my internship this year with them, Fargo and stuff. So,
cool.
Or whatever.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've been going to Fargo as either a state rep, administrator, coach for I don't even know how long. It's been a long time. Let's just put it that way, ladies. I've already dated myself enough with the King College thing, but Texas has always like from the jump always had like not only a large team there, but a really good, a very competitive team. I remember for a while, it was just like you in California just battling it out. And it was just, no
one else was even there.
Nobody else is even close. Now, obviously, some states are starting to close the gap and stuff, but it was just California and Texas, and that was it. There was nobody else that was even remotely close. So, I'm very familiar with Texas and very familiar with what they have going on there. I actually lived in Texas. I lived in Texas for a year. Just in the Dallas area. Yeah, Irving, Las Colinas area.
Yeah.
So I worked in Fort Worth. I had a little club there. It was a long time ago. This was quite a while ago, but What part of Texas are you?
Arlington.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All right. So that's okay. That's the whole Metroplex area. Then you got that. Yeah. No. So I actually was working in Keller. I got employed for a year to do a club with this. It was like a multi-sport facility out in Keller, and I also helped open Pete's Dueling Piano Bar in Fort Worth. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's in downtown Fort Worth. It's a dueling piano bar. So I helped open that way back in the day. And then I was also bartending at a really cool hotel in downtown Dallas called the Magnolia. So Yeah, so I had a lot
Patch has his hands everywhere.
yeah, so yeah, I had a lot going on when I was out in Dallas for that 1 year. So yeah, I probably packed about 5 years in 1 year. So it was pretty cool.
There you
But
go.
I love Texas. Love Texas. And one of the things that people, I mean, Texas, they take their, I mean, I know they take their wrestling seriously, but they take all their sports seriously. I mean, it is like a sports driven state there. If you're gonna teach and you're gonna like coach somewhere at the high school level, I mean, you're hard pressed to find a better place than the state of Texas. I mean, you get paid well as a coach. They work with you as far as your schedule. They have athletic periods. Did you have an athletic period, Samara? Yeah, where basically, like, if I would have been, like, say, for example, if I'd have taken a head wrestling coach job there in high school, you actually have a wrestling class where you have all your wrestling kids, like, during the school day. So you're not waiting until 3:00 to practice.
No way.
Well, yeah,
Is that how it was?
regular wrestling class. Yeah, so basically, you have your practice during the school day, and then you can, what I would say is if it's in the morning, you can practice in the morning or whatever, and then you can lift weights in the afternoon or whatever. You can totally kind of, move your schedule around the athletics part of it. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, it's awesome. You remember that, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Did you have wrestling class in high school? Samara?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We lifted in our period and then would practice after school.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Get
See,
both.
it would be so much more convenient because I know, like, when I was teaching in Iowa and Florida, our kids, it's 6 a.m. We had to get in there and practice and lift before school started or drill or whatever. I mean, so yeah, that kind of eliminated a whole bunch of that in Texas. So, but yeah, I couldn't imagine from a football perspective what they do because football is huge there.
No, it is. It is huge.
Huge.
That's crazy. So was your wrestling class like boys and girls?
Yes. It was good.
Yeah. That's cool. How freaking
I
cool.
wonder now, is girls wrestling getting so big in Texas now that they're actually having, like, the girls wrestling class, like the girls wrestling team has class and the boys, they separate them now?
Yeah. They actually just started that
Wow.
a few years ago. Like the girls have their own period now and the boys do. So I don't really know how they're doing it now, but I do know they're separated. But I'm pretty sure after school, then they all get together again and then practice.
Yeah, man. No wonder none of the other states have a chance.
No wonder it's so tough for us here.
Well, yeah, it makes sense why
Come on, we'll be thinking. Make this a lot more sport oriented.
There you go. Well, it makes sense why you've made it so far. You've been living and breathing it even in school since you were like a child. So tell us a little bit before we let you go. You made it to Olympic team trials, which is a big freaking deal. Did you qualify by winning nationals?
Yeah, US Open. No, not national.
Oh.
I was a runner up at US Open. So
Okay.
Trials.
Awesome. So for our viewers who are not watching, for you to be able to even compete in this tournament or qualify, there's like pretty strenuous like qualifications. One of which is they took top 5 from the Open this year, or you could win like college national tournament, or they have a last chance qualifier. You could be like a previous world team or a world medalist, I think. And so like being able to even be in a bracket is a big deal. And you're also not in a bracket with anyone who's not like one of the best wrestlers in our country. And so the fact that like Samara made it in a bracket, like made her way up the bracket a good little bit of a ways, is like a really big deal. So tell us what it meant to you to be able to like have a shot. I'm assuming like maybe being on the Olympic team is a goal you've had for a long time or something you've dreamed about. So like, what did it mean to you to be able to like be there on that stage? Like, did it feel like a lot of pressure and to be in a bracket with athletes of that caliber?
I mean, it didn't really hit me till after the tournament because I was thinking like, whoa, 3 years ago I was like watching this and I'm competing in it. So I was just thinking like, oh, it's another tournament. I'm gonna just go have fun. What do I got to lose? There's Olympic qualifiers in my bracket.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do I lose? Let's just go out there, have fun. It was a little nervous, but once you get like the first match out of the way, it's like a smooth ride. You experienced it out there, so just go have fun.
Yeah. So some of the girls, like you had really tough girls in your bracket. Had you wrestled? You beat who? Sage Mortimer. I saw that you wrestled. Maybe Aaron Golston on the backside, like names that everybody knows. Had you competed against some of those athletes before?
I competed at Sage at US Open. That's who I lost to there. And I wrestled her a lot. She used to come to King and she transferred. So that was like my training partner for like maybe years. Yeah. We've been having to wrestle each other since I can remember. So it's like we know each other's style and stuff. So it's like, oh, come on, this is my teammate. But
Yeah.
Chips off the mat and wrestle out there and then rekindle after.
Yeah, that's how it has to work.
Rekindle it.
Well, hopefully we'll get to see you Olympic team trials in 4 years from now. And maybe if you're kind enough, Tennessee can still claim you and we can have you on here and talk about it again. Maybe that time you'll be on a team and then we're definitely claiming you. We don't care. Texas can fight over it. But what do you have like?
I'll be an alumni. Come on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's right. She'll be an alumni.
Always. So that's 4 years down the road. So what do you have like until then? What type of goals do you have? You're graduating or you just graduated, right?
No, I have one more year. I'm a junior.
Oh, okay. So you got one more year in college.
Mhm.
What are your like goals for your next year of college and maybe like the most immediate things for the next few months?
I think after I graduate stuff, do you know what WCAP is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking about
The W cap, huh?
Yeah, I'm thinking about pursuing that so I can get because they train at the Olympic Training Center and they have their own program and stuff. So I might join them and get a little bit more training out there and then try to make Olympics 2028 is the plan.
There you go.
Focus big tournaments there because college tournaments like weekly.
Yeah.
It's a lot of draining on the body. So hopefully after that I can have more focus on just those tournaments and those weight cuts only.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Wow, you didn't get that W cap program is a pretty interesting program. That's
They got some.
serve in the military and make money, keep wrestling, and that's awesome.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Good deal, real good deal. I got some friends that went through that program.
Yeah.
And then coach later on after life and stuff.
That's it.
Yeah. There you go. Well,
Hopefully here in Middle Tennessee.
yeah. Whoa.
Hopefully in Nashville. You bet.
Yeah. Don't forget about it. All right. Well, congratulations. Thanks for kicking butt. Before we let you go, we like to ask some of our guests who've like made it far in this, some of our guests have made it far in this sport. We have a lot of listeners who maybe want to be in your shoes someday. So what advice would you give to any young wrestler who thinks like, hey, I'd like to make an Olympic team someday, or hey, I'd like to be on a senior national team, or I'd like to compete overseas and have lots of success? Like, what advice would you give to the young wrestler who wants to be you someday?
I always say just have fun, don't forget it's a sport. It's not a job. It's a sport. Have fun with it and leave no regrets no regrets. Like go out there, give it all you have and just be satisfied with what you got. You don't want to leave that tournament saying, oh, I should have done this or this. Like no regrets, just leave it out and have fun with it.
We should put that on a t-shirt. No regrets.
Yeah,
that's a
no
great
regrets.
motto going to the wrestling mat.
Love it.
Awesome. All right, Hash, do you have anything for Samara before we let her go?
Oh, that was great. No, like I said, we really appreciate your time. Thanks so much for jumping on. And like I said, I know that we got a lot of listeners here that have a lot of big time aspirations, and we're love to have you on and love the information that you came across with. And congratulations.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
You got it.
Congrats.
Right. Thanks, Samara. Yeah, we'll claim her for a little while. Tennessee.
Yeah. We got one more year. She'll be living here.
I know. We got one more year. One more year. Why not? Keep her in here. Why not? So that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome having Olympic, trials qualifier on here and kind of picking their brain a little bit. We're gonna have another one next week. I'm trying to line up on the guy side. We had a little Tennessee connection there. Nick Winkin was in the Greco tournament. Yep.
Awesome.
He was in the Greco tournament, and actually he finished. I think he was third or possibly true second. I have to check that again. I know he was right in there in Greco when making that team. So yeah, Nick Lincoln's awesome. We've had him on the podcast before. I know we had Scott. You met Scotty, so I think I had him on mine previously.
Okay.
Nick and Scotty are just they're Tennessee legends. They're awesome.
Yeah,
great.
absolutely. We have to have them on.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to line that up for next week. I tried to line it up for this week, but I couldn't make it happen. So
I'm down to talk about the pitching trials 2 weeks in a row.
is what it is. So yeah, we'll talk about it, and then that way we can talk a little bit about state tournament next week, and we'll talk about that. So on the guy side, we did. I think we ended up having. It was pretty close. I know Josh Sturgill, who's our treasurer of our organization, and I was talking about it when we were out there in Vegas last week, and we just kind of tried to go through the numbers. I think we had around 15 kids out there I know Higher Calling Cleveland had 4. I think Baylor had 4. Nolansville had 2. Really proud of them bringing guys out there. And of course we had Ella and trying to think of the other 4, but I know we had some decent representation there. We actually had some kids that were that had competed before at in Tennessee high school that are there in the college level. So that was pretty cool seeing them. But the current high school guys that placed out there, we had 3 place in 15 U's. Maddox High was 3rd in the freestyle 62 kilo division, which I mean that's when you place in the 15 U's freestyle, or if you place in any of these tournaments, you're a stud. But those freestyle brackets were just loaded, and he came all the way storming back, got 3rd, 62 kilos. So congratulations to Maddox. 17U Greco, Jose Cordero, also from Cleveland, at 45 kilo was 4th. So great job, Jose. He actually wrestled, I think, in the Conti semis, another Tennessee young man who I was trying to claim him, but I'm going to claim him. And that's Ace Chittum. I know he wrestles for Boom Ranch Minion, but now he's up wrestling for the Seabolt Wrestling Academy up in Iowa. So they're trying to claim him, but he's Tennessee. That's just the way it is. But I know he plays in both styles. But I know Jose beat him, I want to say, in the consolation semis. But that's another young fiery one got coming up through also is Ace Chittum. And then our last placer was Hunter Sturgill at 20U Greco. It was 7th. And the 20Us, which people in 7th at 72 kilo. One thing that people don't understand about those 20Us when they just think, oh, Hunter's a junior in high school, whatever. He's a junior in high school wrestling a lot of kids that are freshmen or even older in college. So he's wrestling a lot of the college guys. So he's literally wrestling some grown men at the U20, So once you graduate from that 17U, you're talking an age group that has three different years in it, and wrestling I guess what would have been a 17U last year, but it's a 17-year-old kid, and now all of a sudden having to go and put your hands on a 20-year-old, that's quite a bit different, quite a bit different deal. But it's crazy though. I mean, just watching that 20U tournament, I mean, the amount of like young, like 17, 18U kids that we had that were not only competing, but getting the best of and winning those brackets, at the 20U division. It's crazy. I mean, like we were talking about before, it's crazy like how good the level of wrestling in our country continues to get. And the younger that it's the kids that are coming out of high school are just dynamite. The ones that actually have a year or 2 left in high school are dynamite. It's crazy. Yeah. So, but yeah, overall Tennessee, we had some guys that, did well. I know Logan Fowler was 5-2 in, I think it was the freestyle division at the 20Us. I know Cooper Hilton actually got hurt, but he was actually wrestled really well. He wrestled the PJ Duke kid pretty well early in the match. I think got like knocked out halfway through. So of his match that put him out. But Chase Mays from Nolensville did really, really well. I think he was like 4-2 in Greco and 3-2 in freestyle. So really proud of him for getting on there and going to this tournament because it's a tough tournament. So real tough tournament. But yeah, so Nolensville is cool. They said a couple guys. I know the Norman brothers from Baylor out there, Belzoni, Brody Belzoni from Nolensville. They were out there competing hard. So yeah, really proud of the Tennessee guys getting out there and getting after it. So yeah, it's good stuff. So hopefully we just keep adding. I know we had more in attendance this year than we had last year. So we just got to keep, gradually getting those numbers up because this is the
a good tell of where you're at.
This is like all the best guys are there at these because they all want to make world teams, so it's all the best guys are here. I mean, it's not sprinkled in with kids that are kind of, I guess, pretenders. It's all the best guys are here, all the best clubs. I shouldn't say pretenders, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like all the kids that want to make world team obviously have to come to this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like, it's all the kids that really, really, really have high aspirations in the sport. But yeah, it's just, it's just, so it's tough. All the best clubs are out there, and all the best kids. And it was really good wrestling for the days it was out there. It's awesome. It was long though. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I got on there on Wednesday and they were already through. I know Hunter was, when I got off the plane, he was just going in. I couldn't go over there to watch a 7th place match, but he was just getting a 7th place match. So I didn't get until like 7 o'clock or something. So he was just wrestling a 7th place match. So they wrestled, I think 15U, 17U, Greco on Wednesday. And then it just kept stopping. Oh no, 15 and 20U Greco on Wednesday. And then it obviously just kept stockpiling on there and wrestling got over on Sunday.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's a long one.
Yeah, that is long.
It's like Fargo again.
Geez, Fargo's that long too?
Fargo's long.
I've never wrestled with Fargo.
Oh, it's long. Wait till you start getting on staff. You'll figure out what Fargo's like real quick. Oh yeah. Well, Fargo. We got Fargo. And you got Vegas. Nightlife's obviously a little bit different.
Yeah, I bet.
Fargo. The blackjack tables have a limit on them. Because I don't gamble. I haven't gambled in like over 10 years. But from what I hear from like some of our parents that bring kids out there, yeah, that's the only thing is the blackjack tables have limits on them. You can only bet like so much. Yeah, I don't play anymore. I used to play too much, but that's what it is. But yeah, so you'll see, you'll find out what Fargo's like, and you get into this club stuff now. You're going down a rabbit hole, young lady. Look out. Yep. Speaking of which, though, we're going to talk some national teams now. We got our next guest here. I'm going to get him on right now. And then I'll introduce it to him, and we'll talk a little bit national team. There he is right here, my man, Scott Shipman. What's happening?
Coach Hatcher, Kenya. Good to see you.
What's going on, Kenya? This is Scott Shipman, who is he's actually one of my coaches at Young Guns Nashville here. We probably could have if he wouldn't have had a softball game tonight, daughter's softball game, we probably would have done this here live in the classroom that I sit in because he's usually at practice. Daughter had a softball game, so we couldn't do it. I thought we'd have a really cool spin, but just so happens he's got not only a stud wrestler, but he's got a stud softball player still playing. What was it? It's like some championship tonight, wasn't it, Coach?
District play, their high school district. So my wife is the head coach, and my daughter plays at Grace Christian Academy here in Franklin.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Coach, this is Kenya. Of course, if you already watched the podcast, Kenya's, she's awesome. She's the one that started the all girls club out in Knoxville. So she's crushing it with that. And you talk about somebody that has went down the rabbit hole with wrestling, Kenya. Here he is, right here.
And he's still in it.
He can't seem to escape. He can't escape. Every year he loads on there, he gets more responsibilities because he's so awesome.
I love this podcast. I love the stories, and man, I get a chance to start thinking about the wrestling adventures, and I mean, it's so fun. The sport's wonderful, and I've had a great run in it, and glad to still have my hand sort of lightly, in the sport. So I appreciate the work on the podcast here. It really is good work for both of you. So we appreciate it.
We get a fun job.
Yeah, we're just here talking wrestling.
We're just like lounging in our chairs.
It's all good. We're just kind of chilling and just talking wrestling. But no, for those of you guys who don't know Scott, I mean, everybody in Middle Tennessee knows Scott, and a lot of people throughout the state know Scott. But he's had quite the pedigree. We're very, very fortunate to have him in this area. But as an athlete, he was a 4-time All-American, undefeated NCAA Division II wrestling national champ, U.S. Open freestyle place winner. Was the former head coach at Gardner-Webb University. Which you were part of that transition from D2 to D1, right, Coach?
Yeah, I was. I came down the first year we were eligible for Division I competition. So, great experience. A great run down there. It was fun. Working on stacking it up down there before retiring. Yeah,
and on top of just all the accolades and the things he's given, not only competitive career, but he just can't get out of this coaching thing. It's like, so when I first came here, I knew that there was like some people I wanted to get involved. And he was like, his name was the one that just kept popping up from people. Okay, you got to get Scott Shipman involved, guys, because he was very, very active in the Williams County Wrestling Club that they have, which is a monster club here in Middle Tennessee. It's huge. And so I was like, I'm going to start this Young Guns program over here, Coach. You might want to. What do you think about helping out? Maybe I think so. He's been one of my main players in this thing for a while, and then all of a sudden, I think he came to me last year and said, "You know what? I think I'll be able to come often, but a lot of my responsibilities are probably going to be, are going to lighten up a little bit because I'm going to start this program over here at Grace Christian." I'm like, "Oh, shocker!" And then like a month later, he's like, "Yeah, well, you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and start a middle school program over there too." So I was like, "Oh, okay, that figures that." And then I was like, "You know what? I think I'm going to get a little kids club program going that can be, and he's got all this." And so the reason we got him on the podcast tonight is he's actually one of the coaches and one of the directors of our 14U national duels team, which I've roped him into already. And
good at that. Huh?
So there we go. So now you talk about a rabbit hole. Now this is what you got to look forward to, Kenya. This is it.
This is me. This is what I'm going to look like in 10 years down the road. Huh?
This is it. You're going to be coaching like 5 different teams. the way it works.
It's been a great run. It's funny you didn't mention the part about when you were going to start the Young Guns Club, Coach Hatcher. If I remember correctly, I was in a parking lot talking to you about it. I tried to talk you out of it. Right?
Yeah,
I said, you want to go down, this, and but if you're going to do it, I said I'll help.
Yeah.
And,
That's
that was
funny.
fun. But
I just knew Scott. I knew what type of person it was with Scott. He's like, "Oh, I'll help." I was like, "Yeah, I know that. I know that." Because I say, "Oh, that's the way I was." You know what? I'll help out. And then all of a sudden, I'm like,
well, it's been
You're
fun.
like, here.
I absolutely love wrestling. And I also have, my son's been a part of this sport since he was 4 or 5, and is one of those kids on the scene, been involved in Tennessee USA wrestling and AAU club level here since he was. I got him involved at 4 because he was going to burn the house down, right? So I needed to get back into wrestling and coaching, and that's what got me into the club stuff. But have absolutely just loved the growth of what's happening here in the state. Girls, youth. The numbers last year. We talked, Coach, about the state freestyle Greco tournament last year, and again, Summit's not big enough. One day is not big enough. We don't have, like, how cool is that we're to that level? These kids that are wrestling nationally, and honestly, the fact that Tennessee USA Wrestling is going to, sponsor, continue to move down in age groups and be able to allow, us to go out and coach, have a wrestling adventure with some of the top, kids in the state to do something like these duels in Pennsylvania in early June. So I've been a part of most of these middle school kids. I know most of them, that we're going to, I think, facilitate onto this team. Been watching them since they were little. It's such a fun age group to coach, right? These guys are sponges, they're pretty dang good. Just the sport is fun. Dual meets are fun. This is not a UFC style meat grinder at the 14U level. We can get multiple matches over a week and a half. So I'm really excited about the trip, building this team, getting a group together to go, and then being a part of this for a couple of years, at this level. I think my skill set and demeanor right now, I do real well with these 14, 15-year-olds. And I think the sport might be passing me by a little bit with the older kids, but we'll get them handed off to the better group that's going. But anyway, so I'm here again. What I'm hoping, and again, I'm going to step in my soapbox. I got on the registration link today, looking at the state tournament. We're going to try to pick this team out of the state tournament on Saturday. We need you 14Us, you 12Us, you 10Us registering for the tournament in wrestling, Saturday at Summit. So that's the first thing that I want to encourage the club coaches and the parents that might be listening to this to get everyone in there. And, we want to be able to start fielding, that team, out of the 14U, brackets that are there at the state tournament.
Right. And that's one of the things too. It's crazy about these tournaments is like, you look at the registration numbers tonight and they'll like quadruple tomorrow. It's crazy. Anyway, everybody, I know we had a ton of kids raising their hands, if they're going this weekend, and I guarantee there isn't but 3 of them registered so far. So it's usually they're always waiting last minute. But you go by, obviously some state tournament results. That's one of the biggest, I think, that's one of the biggest things that when parents are asking, how the team is picked, they think a lot of times that, well, if my kid wins state at 94 pounds, he should be the number 1 guy there. And a lot of times, especially when you're looking at a body of work that's done with, and you're trying to take the very best team, to a competition like this, a lot of times that really doesn't work out. What's some other factors that you guys put in to play when you're looking at picking this 14U team?
Yeah. It's, obviously we want to make this as sort of fair and equitable as possible. Weigh in the body of work at the levels 14U and under. It is difficult, right? Like that's a hard thing. You can look at the big tournaments and the top 100s and, rankings and who's done what. I'm hoping that in a perfect world, we've got, 1 or 2 or 3 guys at each weight class that are, sort of filtered to the top. And, does it mean if you finish 3rd at the state tournament, you wouldn't have a shot to wrestle in this, not at all, right? We're going to try to take all of those things, in consideration when fielding this, team. Again, hopefully if this works out, we'll be able to have some extras, and like there should be what I'm hoping is more than just the 1 or 2 weight classes. But I think you guys were able to field 2 teams last year, right, for this for this event?
We just did the one, yeah, for 14U, and we brought some backups.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that we didn't have a full second team.
Yeah. So, of course, we're not in the ultimate. We're not in a position where we're going to have wrestle offs for this team. You know what I mean? We're not into that level, like world team trials in any way, shape, or form. But I'm hoping it works out by commitments, and you're going to see Coach Jamie and I and you walking around Saturday talking to everybody. And again, hopefully we get this interest list and can whittle this down fairly and equitably and get the right team together that really wants to be on this trip. So summertime logistics, again, this is an age group that oftentimes doesn't think about all this stuff, right? We're gonna have to carve out almost a week in second week of June to do this this trip. So there are factors here that we've got to consider and work through. We'd like to again create the adventure for the guys, and also we want to feel a competitive team here. You know what I mean? That's part of the drill as we go. So that's the hope. And again, I like you, Coach. You said this where I don't want to be viewed as a bad guy for picking this team. You know what I mean?
Well, that's one of the things we every year. I mean, and one thing. I mean, it's great always having coaches on here that have been a part of these dual meet teams, and they kind of understand, especially when this tournament's a lot different than obviously when you compare our two organizations, the AAU and the USA. It's two totally different animals. I mean, they take care of all the kids freestyle or the kids folk style. And when they go to their national events, I mean, it's a folk style only dual meet tournament. So they probably, I mean, it's just one folk style tournament in whatever it is, 2-3 days, whatever age group they're at. This one that we go on, whether it's 14U, 16U, or junior duels, I mean, it's literally two tournaments wrapped up into a 4 or 5 day, span. And the amount of I think to equate it like this, if you asked the middle school AAU folk style team that just won the nationals last weekend or a couple weeks ago, congratulations to those guys. If you ask them to go right back into it back to back that very next day and wrestle again, I mean, it's like, I mean, you're more experienced guys and you're really, really high echelon guys are like, yeah, absolutely. I'll go a couple more days. I can just roll through this. But it's those ones that really don't really know that level of competition yet. They're like, man, another couple days. And that's when the fatigue sets in. When you're doing it's freestyle and Greco duels, that's what you're getting. You're getting two tournaments in like 4 or 5 days. And it could be a grind. So when it comes to picking the team, you've got to be very, very, obviously trying to get the best kids on there, but you're also wanting to fill with a lot of backups because you never know what's going to happen in those 4 days, especially when kids wrestle in 20 some odd matches. It's a lot. I mean, and it's not like 20 some odd matches against kids that aren't very good. It's against the other teams that are trying to get the best kids from their state too. And that's what, and you know how it is with freestyle and Greco wrestling. I mean, everybody's wrestling in folk style, whether it's a kid that's, an elite level kid or just the beginners. They all know wrestling folk style. The only ones that are wrestling right now in freestyle and Greco are the kids that are really good. and that's just because they want to year-round wrestlers. So you're basically getting 2 tournaments in the Olympic styles with a bunch of year-round wrestlers.
Yeah. Agreed. So what I would say for parents or wrestlers, I mean, again, find me on Saturday if you're there. I mean, again, I want to talk to you. Want to know the backgrounds, want to know, reasons, all of that stuff. Part of this is to get to know you. So my plan, coaches, again, I want to be involved in this team for a couple of years. So we're not looking at this as a 1 year run as far as sort of, I don't call it recruiting, but at least knowing these wrestlers that are in that 13, 14, 15-year-old age groups to be able to work with. So again, it should be a fun event and safe and get some good training on top of the competition. Just a lot of fun for the guys. So again, I'm excited about it. Looking forward to this. Not looking forward to Fargo somewhere down the road. We'll cross that path.
When you get there. Yeah, I tell you what though, that 14, I've been on that 14U duel. Actually, shoot, Eric Phillips and I took the 14U duel team way back in the day. It was like the first 14U duel team I've ever taken from Tennessee, and it was so much fun. I mean, we literally had. Well, Tucker Russo, who helped us out here, Tucker, he was on that team, like Michael Murphy, all these, Chris Debian, and it was literally like a team of 8. And like 8 out of the 16 weight classes filled. Yeah. And it was so much fun. It was an age group was so much fun. We still have stories from that trip. And this was, shoot, I don't even know how long ago, 10, 12, 15, 14, whatever years ago. It was so much fun. This age group is so much fun. It is. It's
really, you're good kids. I know a lot of them. I've been around them for years now, and you good families, great clubs. You know what I mean? Like it's. I know no matter who ends up on these teams, it's going to be a formidable force. We're going to have a lot of fun together. So
Oh, absolutely. We're very fortunate to have, not only yourself, but Jamie Morrell from Nolensville Wrestling Club kind of heading up this age group, two guys like you guys and the clubs and the experience that you guys have. It's going to be a great experience for sure. Plus, it's getting you back up to your old stomping grounds, isn't it?
Yeah, I know a lot about you. So I went to West Liberty there, panhandle of West Virginia. I'm from Northeast Ohio, originally, but no, I feel like from the recruiting days.
Oh yeah,
every high school in Pennsylvania, right? You know what I mean? Like that, you could list that out by mascots and everything else.
Oh yeah, so you've been up in that area a few times. I don't think we're pretty fortunate. You know that whole area up there, so I think we'll be okay with that. So
yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, and like I said, we're super excited to have you a part of that and have you part of the organization. And now that you're doing 14U, and we'll just keep you kind of moving on up. And
we're tired after this one, Coach. That's what I'm going to.
Well, that's how we see. We just bring people on the podcast, get them roped in these national teams. We did the same with Kenya. But yeah, I kind of planted the seed a little bit. I think on one of the initial ones, like the third, fourth podcast, had Mackenzie Fowler on here, and it's a lot.
I did not know that's how you landed her. Is it really?
What's that? That's how we landed you. That's it. I kind of mentioned a little bit at the beginning and had Mackenzie on, and she locked you down. Podcast.
Yeah.
That's how it works. We put them on the spot right here. That's how it works.
I know. Don't tell anyone, Coach Shipman, that's what we're doing on our podcast. Don't tell anyone.
It's fine. As a recruiting tactic.
Right.
Yeah. Well, good stuff. Good stuff. Katie, you got anything else for my man Shipman here?
No, it sounds super cool what you're doing. Whenever I end up further down the rabbit hole, which I'm sure I will at some point, I'm going to come to you for some advice on how to run these teams and stuff like this. It seems like quite the skill to have, to be able to put a team together and pick some of the best talent and keep everybody happy. So I'll come to you.
I'm super pumped by this. This 14U, we have two not only great coaches with him and Jamie, but two extremely organized guys on this one. I mean,
yeah, that'll help.
I mean, it's like these two.
He agreed. He's like, yes, I am.
Yeah, having like myself and like other people like me is not probably the best.
Or like,
yeah, that's I mean, I'm just there in state chairman capacity. Hey, what's going on? How's it going? I'm good. So, but yeah, no, it's awesome. We're excited about it, and just yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So those of you guys that are at that 14U level, make sure you find Coach Shipman this weekend, Coach Morrell this weekend. Make sure you hunt them down and get yourself in contention for these teams. It's super important, and it's also a great experience. A lot of kids that had never really even. I know we have a perfect example, one in our Young Guns room, Coach, with Cash Waymeyer.
Yep.
He never even really remotely even thought about going on any of these national tournaments or whatever, or these dual team events. And on his first one, he was a freshman or eighth grader BA, wrestled freestyle in the club, and then went on the 14U team. He won some matches there. His first one, and you know him; he's like the mayor of wrestling in Tennessee. He knows everybody. So, and just the relationships you build on, it's awesome.
Yeah, and plus, you guys know it. I mean, the biggest thing is to go show up at these events. You've never done it before, and you'll realize right away that you can wrestle with everybody there, and
absolutely
the wrestling world smaller, across the board. So. You get through the chaos of weigh-ins and looking around and seeing guys that you read about in magazines or see on the internet, and then it's just a great experience. And then you come back to the state duels in Tennessee. It seems a lot different. You know what I mean? And it's just a wonderful experience. Like-minded kids. So like I said, I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Yep. Well, we're looking forward to having you on there, Coach. Any last plug for anything?
No, man. Let's again get registered, organized. I'd like to see the list of people there. So that's mostly for my ADHD.
Yes,
brackets. And
we need a list of applicants. We need kids get registered.
Thanks.
Doesn't hunt you down.
Ready Saturday.
Yeah. Awesome, Coach Shipman. Appreciate your time.
Nice to meet
you guys. All right. Yeah, no, he's awesome. We couldn't have anybody better in charge of that age group. I mean,
I can tell by the way he's talking about it that he's a perfect person for the job.
Oh, he's great. He's great. Yeah. Remember that podcast we did in at NBA.
Yes.
Yeah, his son was on that one. That
Oh.
yeah, his son's a stud. He's good. Yeah, he's really good. He's tough. He's
Yeah.
really tough. Yeah. He's not quite that 14U division yet, though. He's got a year, I think, if not two, but I know at least a year. But yeah, but he's tough though. He's really good. So, but yeah, between him and Jamie Morrell, who's also on our board, he's our Middle Tennessee South director.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to do a fantastic job with it.
Have they done this before? I guess I should have asked while he was on here. Have they put this team together and gone before?
We have as a state, we put together a team every year.
Every year.
This will be the first time getting those two on
Okay.
as coaches. So yeah, we're excited about having them on.
That's awesome.
Just getting new blood in there and getting just keep getting funnel the coaches in and just keep getting them on. So
Get them
yep. So yeah, we're excited about the duels. Duels are always exciting. One of the things this year, unfortunately, and I know that I'll go ahead and say it on here. I mean, I know a lot of people. They've already caught wind about it, stuff like that. But us sending a 16U team probably this year is not going to happen. Unfortunately, we've been sending a 16U team for a long time. I mean, I think the very first one, they used to be called cadets. I think I took the first one of those too. I think out to Missouri one year. This was way back in the day as well. And we sent one every year, and this will be the first year that we most likely won't, just because of the funds. It's so expensive. It's in Salt Lake City this year, and it's just incredibly expensive to get out there. I mean, I know we were just quoted on a bus just to get to Pennsylvania, and I think it was $22,000 or something astronomical. So I mean, it was. I know if it wasn't 20,000, it was like just under there, like 18. So I mean, that's only to Pennsylvania. So we're talking all the way out to Utah. I mean, we're talking a $25,000 bus ride if we were going to even bus. I mean, if we're going to fly, I mean, from getting to just a Nashville to Salt Lake City flight's $500, and then you start talking, multiply that by 20 kids, 4 coaches. Just our organization just doesn't make that type of money to where we can absorb that. So, but I know that they got a group of 16U parents that are trying to maybe get together some fundraising stuff, and if they can take care of, I mean, if they can take care of that, I mean, it's something we, as an organization, we budget so much a year for each one of these national team trips. So obviously we have money budgeted for it. So as of right now, as of our last board meeting, moving forward, we're going to combine our 16U and our junior team. So basically, like our 16U kids can obviously run in the juniors and be considered a junior team, which we have a lot of really good 16U kids. I mean, we have like high level 16U kids. So it's one of those things where, they probably had a pretty good shot to make our team to begin with. So yeah, so we'll kind of see. So we're doing that as of right now, unless some other funds, magically appear. So if there's any sponsors out there, just saying, we'd love to have you on board. But again, it's one of those things where it is, 100% volunteer organization. None of our board of directors get paid for this. None of our coaches get paid for it. None of our people get paid for it. So, and then we only have the income from really the freestyle Greco. Like AAUs, they obviously have a lot more money running through their account than we do, just because their memberships at 9,000 kids, they got the whole peewee, so, and it's awesome, man. I love their organizations. Obviously, we had Mike on a couple weeks ago, so AU does great, but when we only have a certain amount of membership, it's you only do so much, and that's that's the thing too. I mean, people got to understand when they support our Tennessee events, especially in particular our Ironman tournament and our state tournament. That's where we make a lot of our money. Those are our two biggest fundraisers throughout the year, is our state tournament and Ironman tournament right there. So if you're not attending those, not only are you not, coming and, supporting our event and wrestling against the other kids in our state, but you're also not really helping very much when it comes to financially, because it's like, that's where the majority of our money comes from, is those two fundraisers. So, I mean, it's like one of those things where hopefully nobody has a problem with the stipends that we have, or we're not able to do this, or we're not able to do that. But at the same time, I mean, sometimes it's the people that don't come to those particular events that are complaining that we don't have the money. I'm like, oh, well, it's kind of, I mean, what do you get? It is what it is, so.
Yeah.
But no, we appreciate everybody's support on the ones that do come to those events. So that's how it kind of works. So I thought I would, since we're talking national teams, kind of say, but the girls, we have a 14U, 16U, and a junior, and I know one junior team for sure, if not 2. So I think I want to say Mackenzie that we had 2 junior teams going again. But I know we have 14U and 16U going. So we're crushing it. We're getting it.
Yeah, we're
good. Yeah, so it's awesome. It's awesome seeing that they're so excited to compete on at these national duels. It's awesome.
Oh, and once they get a taste of it, then they're never going to want to stop because it's going to be so much fun. Yeah.
I know the 14U team we had last year that Kevin Hilton brought out there. Kevin's got bragging rights right now over every other dual team ever throughout the state of Tennessee. They got 6 last year, 14Us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. He was like our last minute, well, not really the last minute replacement, but so Kevin Hilton, Cooper's dad, and Caroline's dad organized that whole trip. Brought we had a last minute replacement for a head coach. Mark Beckwith took the team out there to coach him. Kevin was our team leader, and I think they only had like 8 girls or something. It was like a super small team. They ended up getting in the goal pool and getting 6th.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they had a bunch of like studs on there. Obviously, the Easton was on there, Riley Sergel, Caroline Hilton.
Right.
I'd coach. Yeah, I mean, Libby Robledo was on there. I mean, they had a lot of really, really, really tough girls in there, and they had. Mark has been coaching forever. He's been coaching and he's done a lot on the girls' side too. He's just such a great person and such a great coach. And he said he had as much fun on that trip as any trip he's ever went on from a wrestling perspective. He said he just loved it. It was such a fun trip. So yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, he's helping. I'm not sure if he's helping that particular age group, but I know he's helping on one of our teams again this year. So.
That's awesome.
So there you go. So as soon as we get you on, Kenya, one time, it's a wrap.
From there.
Yep, you'll be talking the same way when we're still doing this podcast 20 years later or whatever. Like, I remember the first time I was on that.
Yeah, and then I'll be dating myself on the podcast.
I know. You guys will definitely have me replaced by then. That's for sure.
No, I'm not doing it with anybody else.
They ain't gonna have no 70-year-old Coach Hatcher on here.
Yes, we will. Sorry.
Oh, shoot. All right. Well, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, good couple good guests on here as normal. Awesome talking to them. What do you think, Kenya? Anything else? You got anything else for the order?
No. Good luck to everyone in the state tournament. We'll see everybody there. Register. That's
it. That's a great point. Get registered. Oh, my goodness. Everybody waiting last minute. That's all right, though.
That's good.
It's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to the competition this weekend. It's going to be fun.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, looking forward to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. Appreciate your time. Appreciate your support. And we will see everybody next week on Tuesday. Same time, same place.
Peace.
Peace.